going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm in a neighborhood in Queens, New York called College Point. It's actually my first time over here. I just finished filming a video for Malba. You can check out that video and the previous one. But now I'm gonna walk around College Point, which I think is pretty much a residential area out here in Queens, New York, in the northern tip past Flushing. So I'm gonna see what the neighborhood has to offer. So without further ado, join me. Here's just, beautiful houses. Kind of feels like if you're, somewhere outside New York City, like in the suburbs. Reminds me of some parts of North Jersey, but we're gonna keep walking to see what else can we find out here. So I'm gonna make it towards 14th Avenue to see what are the vibes. I literally gotta go up the hill, but I think once I'm up in the hill, it's easy. I can make a right. You can see I'm literally surrounded by beautiful houses over here, but like I say, Queens is just massive, so I can literally take it forever to explore this borough. Now I'm on 14th Avenue, and there's a couple of bus stops around here. I think if you take the bus stop, it could take you to Flushing, Queens. There goes one bus. Some of them, I think they can even take you towards Jamaica, Queens, so it's a good way to connect. Because like I say, the thing about Queens, the subway trains, they kind of go like in the central, southern tip of Queens, but then there's tons of neighborhoods in the northern part of Queens, so you just got to connect by the bus. So, here's some options of how you can get around Queens. But as I said many times, Queens is just massive. And like you see here, nice looking houses going down the hill. But I want to see what are the vibes once I make it ahead. And keep in mind, there's a heat wave going on. This is the second video I filmed today. So good thing I got water in my backpack, if anything. But since I'm around here already, I don't feel like coming back all the way from Jersey City. I'm gonna film the most I can around here. Now this is a situation where I want to see if you can judge the book by its covers. Like I'm looking at the map, it doesn't look like it's a further distance of walk, but I think it's gonna be a long walk for me to get towards the other side that I want to check out in this neighborhood. But that's the beauty about this point. A good thing, like I say, it's summertime. It gets dark past 8 o'clock, so I got plenty of time to film around here and see what are the vibes. Here we got some nice residential houses. Semi like 2-story, and the first floor is mostly the parking. Because in a lot of neighborhoods like this, people own cars, because it has like that suburb feel, so it's easy to drive around and have your own driveway in your apartment or in your house around here. And there's a couple of strip malls I can see ahead of me. We got a shopping center right here, and then there's another little one over here with a supermarket. What is the name of this? White Point is the name of this shopping center. I like how they preserve it with the vegetation right here. You got it, it's like a strip mall. And then they got like a pretty comfortable parking. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna walk towards 127th Street, merge left and make it towards 20th Avenue. That way I walk straight towards College Point Drive, which is kind of like the main street of this neighborhood, to see what is the action going on. And then I walk all the way towards the end, towards the local park, to see what are the vibes over there, and then I wrap up the video. So I think that's gonna be my plan for right now. Here the buildings change a little bit. Like I say, this is like a little hidden gem in Queens, like a place on its own. Like it has like a semi-small town vibe, even though we're still part of New York City. And it's also diverse here. Like I see Hispanics, Asians, here mixed together. Of course, this region has a lot of Asians because of Flushing, Queens, Murray Hill, and Northern Boulevard. Here's kind of like a semi-intersection, but then 127 is right there, so I'm gonna make a left. I think there's even a hotel around there. Maybe some modern buildings. There's only one way to find out. There's a 7-Eleven. Throughout my walks, it's not just houses. There's a couple of establishments right here. And here we're making it through 127. There goes a Q25 College Point bus. Not sure if it would take you. It's probably going to take you towards Main Street and Flushing. And like I say, this is isolated from this train station. No subway train or no Long Island Railroad passes around here. So the best way to get around is by bus, unless you have a motorbike or a scooter or something, then that's another option. So over here they got probably like warehouses or car repair shops, and then there's a hotel over there ahead. I can see the airplane going by because LaGuardia Airport is literally not far from here. I'm finally feeling some breeze, thank God. The breeze really helps out when it's especially, brutally hot outside. It was 100 a little bit earlier, but I think now it's supposed to cool down. It's supposed to rain in the next couple of days, so that's why I'm advancing and making videos. So here's a hotel. It's called Ly Hotel or LY Hotel. It's funny, it's like in the middle of nowhere right here. Not sure if it's even open. I don't see anything. Probably is, so maybe there's another entrance. And this is 18th Avenue. They got like a little inlet over here. If you walk forward, there should be like residential area. I'm not sure, but I think this area gets flooded also when it rains a lot around here. I could be wrong, but I think so. Because the thing about it is pretty flat, you know, and it's surrounded by the water. So when it rains like really hard in New York City, you know, this neighborhood literally suffers flooding. There's a lot of neighborhoods throughout Queens also that they suffer that issue. Also in New Jersey, so they got a lot of rivers in New Jersey, they be suffering, you know, floods, unfortunately. Now I'm making it to 20th Avenue, so this will take me straight towards the Main Street, College Point Drive. I think it's a tight street, but there will be a couple of businesses around here. Then I'm gonna walk all the way towards the northern tip of this neighborhood by the park to see what are the vibes over there, you know. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It was supposed to rain later, but I don't think that's gonna happen actually. You got like a nice sidewalk, couple of houses around here, or a lot of them. Like I say, College Point is mostly residential. Like I say, just isolated from the train station. But because of my curiosity, I've always wanted to come here to see what it looks like. You know, that's my mission when I come to New York. I want to explore neighborhoods outside the touristy areas to see how different they are and what are the vibes we can find here, and probably find like the real authentic thing in a neighborhood. We got a nice looking house, 125th Street and 20th Avenue. Yeah, this is really cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Woodhaven in Queens by the J train. It resembles a bit of that too. And I got the Main Street one. It's actually College Point Boulevard, not Drive. So I had to check it again just to remind myself. It's a little tiny local park over here with restrooms. So this is the local park right here. It's mostly a playground. They even have like a water area so the kids can play when it's really hot outside. And 21st Avenue should be there, so I'll make a right and start hitting College Point Boulevard right here. And like I said, even though this is Queens, it just has like a little feel of a small town vibe. The way how the houses are and the streets are, you know. But I love that. Over here, look at this, and the church is sounding as I think of the time. See how nice the houses is? Yeah, right now it's 6 o'clock, 8 minutes. Not sure why it plays now. Usually it'll play like every hour, and I'll do like ding, ding, ding. Like if it's 5 o'clock, I'll do it 5 times. Here you got some apartments and a house right by the park. And it keeps going right here. This is the local park. Right over here. And then one more block ahead of me is College Point Boulevard. So I'm really excited to see what the street looks like, or the boulevard looks like. We got more around here, so yeah, actually the church is over that way, so this is a neighborhood that I don't really think it gets covered that much. I saw a couple of videos, but it's mostly like semi-walking tours, so that's why I wanted to come here to see for myself what it looks like right here, you know. And so far I like it, you know, it's just like a little peaceful, chill vibes over here. Now I just got to figure how the heck do I get back to Flushing. But the good thing we got Google Maps, you know, and technology, so now you can just figure it out which bus goes there, the time that it goes. So I tell you, technology has really come out a long way. This is the boulevard right here. So I think this is where all the action happens in this neighborhood, like the Main Street. Even though I really don't see much people, but I think more ahead is where it gets actually better. Over here we see a couple of businesses. I see Korean signs, some apartments. Here's a restaurant. I think it's like a Chinese joint. Nice coffee shop too. Or they sell like noodles right here. There's a supermarket in the corner and a burger joint right there. So yeah, gonna walk more. This 20th Avenue. I think if I walk towards 14th Avenue, that's why I'll do another left and another detour to other regular streets. It's a main street without much crowds, but still, you know, pretty interesting to look at. Queens is literally like one of a kind. Like I've said it many times, of all the boroughs in New York City, I think Queens is actually my favorite one. Because of the diversity of people and what it has to offer and the food. Some of the best foods in New York City, I think it comes from here, from Queens. And here it keeps going with the business. Well, I noticed a couple of Dunkin' Donuts around here in this neighborhood. You see more, I like how they got the brick buildings. The apartments probably in the second floor, then in the first floor is literally filled up with business out here. So You have an idea. So actually I just spotted the Q20 bus. That's the bus that I use to get towards Malba. Not really Malba, but I got off the closest stop and I walked there. So good that I see over here. So I think that's gonna be my way back towards Flushing, and then I take the train back to where I live. We got more over here. I think this is a Colombian joint right here. Gotta watch out for the street. So I really wanted to film behind me because that's where it seems more exciting. But I don't know if you can still hear, there's a bus, there's a truck there, a pickup truck that has some loud speakers playing music out loud. So if I would have played near there, it would have just ruined my shot, you know, or the copyright because of YouTube, you know. But let's keep exploring here. There's a local park over here, and then gonna merge into some of the regular streets to see what are the vibes over there. So I think over here should be like a little plaza or a little local park. So I'm gonna check it out. To my left, they got a municipal parking plus a local park. Here's a couple of chairs where people can just play dominoes out here. So you can see they can play dominoes and checkers, and then there's a basketball court. And this is 14th Avenue right here with nice looking residential units. Gonna detour in one of these streets by, I forgot the name of it, but it should be like a little inlet or like a park, and then the houses, they surround literally the greenery area. Over here, this is what I'm talking about. It's a dead end road, but it goes around, and they got this green grass and townhouses over here. And like I say, it makes you feel like if you're outside New York City. See, the houses are nice, and this is like a really nice urban oasis. And I'm just gonna turn back and walk all the way towards the end, where there should be a local park and probably a view of the waterfront. Not sure if it's gonna be nice or not too nice, but there's only one way to find out. We're just making it right there, boots underground. Street keeps going over here. As you can see, it's a lot of nice houses, suburban feel. I think the block ahead is 119th Street, so if I walk there, that would take me straight towards the local park. Gotta tell you, I like these houses, how they look like, with the parking in the first floor. And then they got this over here, which is really cool. Then here they got a little church, serves out with the community. And if we walk straight forward, it should be the park. I'm starting to feel some raindrops, so hopefully it doesn't pour. If it's gonna rain, hopefully it drizzles a little bit and cool off a little bit, but yeah, I see the clouds going around, so gotta keep an eye on the weather. As you can see, it keeps going. The neighborhood, the houses, everything out here. Love this houses here, it looks pretty cool. I love walking around streets like this. Not just the houses, but the trees, you know, it gives it like a really nice vibe. And like I say, in the map, everything looks like it's nearby, but it's actually far. So yeah, I wish I would have had my bike, like I said in many of my videos. That's okay, you know, because I love walking. Walking is actually a really good exercise. A good thing I got water, I ate something, so I'm fueled up. You have an idea how nice the area is, you know. It's really cool, and I know in this neighborhoods in the summer, they be pretty lit. Look at the street, how nice it is. With the wide streets, you know, and the trees and everything. So the name of this park is Hermon MacNeil, and I can see it ahead of me, so I'm really excited to check it out. Because as you guys know, every time I go to a neighborhood, I love checking out the local parks to see what does it have to offer. I also see the Q25 bus right here. Jamaica, Long Island Railroad, so I'll probably take the Q25 bus back to Flushing, Queens. Some beautiful streets. So I didn't really know much about this by College Point. That's a good thing about coming to the neighborhood to explore. So, and over there in the corner is a bus stop. So good to know that I got a bus stop right here. That I don't have to walk all the way towards Main Street. And this is the local park here. Look at the trees. It's getting dark now, not because of the time, but maybe the rain. Well, hopefully it doesn't pour. So hopefully the rain goes away. And then over here, supposed to be a softball field, but they didn't really give like a proper maintenance. And then I see the waterfront that divides Queens with the Bronx. So I'm gonna go check it out on the other side to see what are the vibes. Then here, I'm making it towards the waterfront. Not sure if you can hear me because it's windy, but here's the waterfront that divides parts of the Bronx. I think it's mostly the neighborhood of Soundview, which I filmed a neighborhood there last year. You see, that's the Whitestone Bridge. I was nearby there earlier filming the Malba video. And then this is the waterfront all the way out here. I think it's part of the neighborhood of Dwarf's Neck and Soundview combined together, so this is actually an underrated area. I can see the rain falling down the Bronx, hopefully it doesn't come over this way. And wow, it's crazy because I'm looking ahead over here, and you can actually see views of, wow, you can see views of Midtown Manhattan from right here, all the way in College Point, Queens. Wait until I make it towards the other side so you can see this impressive underrated view right here. So this is literally like a hidden gem. There goes somebody in the damn jet ski. These people, they think they're in the tropical in Bahamas or Puerto Rico or whatever. Yo, this is insanity how we can see the skyline of Manhattan through right here. Wow. Gotta get close so you could experience this view. You can even see LaGuardia Airport from right here. It's right across the river, but let me show you in front so you have an idea. So all I gotta say is just wow. Look at this view behind me. Midtown Manhattan, and I can see part of downtown Brooklyn all the way even lower Manhattan than LaGuardia Airport. I even saw an airplane landing earlier, so wow. This is like an underrated hidden gem for you to sightsee. Like the urban oasis of Manhattan and the airplane. It's crazy that I can see downtown Brooklyn from all the way here in Queens. Wow. Never knew about this area. I'm so happy that I came here, man. That's why you gotta venture around and explore to see what is out there. This is an underrated hidden gem for you to capture a beautiful sunset. But it's not even 7 o'clock yet, but you know, it gets darker later, but wow, this is beautiful. I love it out here. Over here is like some apartments. Not sure if they're like condominiums. Could be. It's actually really nice because you know, you're by the waterfront, by Manhattan. It seems like it's raining towards Manhattan too, lower Manhattan. Proves you how big New York City is, because in some parts of the city it could be raining and in other parts it could not be raining, you know. But I think this is like the highlight of my exploration at College Point, this park over here. Wow, it kind of blew my mind, you know, especially the views over here, Midtown Manhattan from this angle. But I think I'm gonna start wrapping up my video over here. You know, it's been an awesome evening exploring College Point and Queens. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.